Hi, and welcome back to Official John Hart. I am John Hart, your host, and today I'm breaking down for you all 3 takeaways that I got from my recent visit with Kevin Richardson from Naturally Intense. I'm giving you these takeaways because, man, the questions. You guys have asked a lot of questions, and I know I'm in the comment section to a degree, and there's some common questions I see repeated over and over again, and I felt the need. It's important to go ahead and just address them so you all know, okay? So, and I'm giving them to you in the form of takeaways. So, as you all know, follow my channel, a couple weeks ago, I went and I visited with Kevin Richardson. He invited me to come on by and got in some training, and he trained me on his Naturally Intense training system. Now, just so you all know, okay, I'm a trainer. 41 years I've been doing this. Kevin's been doing it for about 34. I'm a little older than him too, okay? And the interesting part about this is I haven't had anybody just, beat me down or train me extremely hard. A lot of that in my case has come from right here with me. I've had training partners in recent years who, I was the motivator, okay? And I had to literally motivate myself too. So it's quite an unaccustomed stimulus. Remember that word for later on, by the way. It's quite an unaccustomed stimulus when I get to train with somebody like a Kevin, and wow, was it just fun. So here's my 3 big takeaways. When it comes to Kevin Richardson and his Naturally Intense training system, the first takeaway that I have is he used the term unaccustomed stimulus. You must subject your body, your muscles, to an unaccustomed stimulus on a regular basis to stimulate new muscle mass, new muscle growth, okay? And this is the reasoning behind him not doing any 2 workouts back to back the same, for even the same body part, that is, okay? So there may be a change up in order of exercises, there may be a change up in exercises entirely, there may be a change up in techniques used, there may be a change up in repetitions used. I mean, he throws the book at his clients, as well as the girls that work for him, Erica and Norelli right now, the 2 other trainers that work for Kevin. And so he's got a nice business, and this system is intense. So that unaccustomed stimulus. So what do I think about this? This is important. I agree with it. You have to have an unaccustomed stimulus. Changing workouts every single time. Every workout. I'm going to give you both the positive on that. I'll go there first, which on my end, the positive on that is I am that type of personality that loves change. If you love change, then you'll thrive on Naturally Intense. That change alone in the training, it keeps you motivated day after day. I could really see that. And for years on end, I mean, really cool. The workouts are, as you know, if you've seen any of the bits and pieces, the shorts, or even the video I put up recently on it, the workouts are very short. And that is by necessity because they're so intense. And when you build up your ability to generate that intensity, that's really the key. So he doesn't just bury newbies. They have to build up their ability to generate that intensity. I went in on it and he treated me like an experienced high intensity trainer. And that's correct. So, a couple of the elements, which I'll get to in a moment, I wasn't used to, so there was an unaccustomed stimulus. So on the positive end, that change in workouts, wow. That part, that's super duper awesome, man. I love that. And then, if I could call it a negative on my end and on a lot of y'all's end, I know you think like this too. We're so used to tracking. We're used to tracking reps, sets, and while that's important when you're on a program that's tracking reps and sets, okay, here we go. this type of working out, if you see the video, and I'll put a little overlay here so you can see what I was doing, this was with moderate weights he used on me. So nothing was super heavy, but it was with moderate weights. We did a lot of reps. We did drop sets. We did forced reps. We did static holds. We did negatives, forced negatives. I mean, it was amazing, amazingly intense, okay? And within all of that, okay, you can't track that. But it reminded me entirely of Tom Platz and watching Tom Platz work out back in the 80s and the 90s at Gold's Gym in Venice. Again, I'll try and get some video up here for you to see. It was very intense. It was fun to watch. It's also fun to do. And I'll get to that in a moment. Hold on to your hats, okay? So this is number one still. So that's the positive and the negative that I see, is that it's not trackable like some of you may want to track. Although I'm going to encourage you to try it. There we go. And maybe even get a consult with Kevin. That may be a wise thing to do. Yeah. I'll put his contact information down below. The other thing, that's number one. Number two. So number two, you'll notice in this video that I put up, I'll put the link down below for it, of my workout with him. There's a brief edit between each exercise. And I mean, that was about how long I got to rest, okay, between each exercise. When Kevin adjusted the bench and I came back, I went and I adjusted the dumbbells and came back. That's how much the rest was between exercises. That was it. So very reminiscent of Arthur Jones and going back to the 70s and the 80s, the rush factor training, that's what it was called. Kevin doesn't call it that. It's just, for lack of a better term, I'll call it rush factor for the sake of this video and for your understanding. That we were just moving quickly from one exercise to the next without taking any rest once I was done with each exercise. And it was just one brutal, long set with high-intensity techniques, all intensifiers thrown in there. It was wonderful. It was wonderful, okay? If you're a hitter like I am, then you'll know what I mean. It takes you to a special place. So, rush factor training. So that's the number two takeaway that I got, was that the time between exercises, I'm going to give you two takeaways from this I could see the benefit of. Number one, time between exercises and the total amount of time that it takes for you to do your workout is a factor in intensity levels. To a degree, you can lower the rest times between exercises and you just effectively raised the intensity to superhuman levels. And you feel it too. You really feel it. Your cardiovascular system, your muscles, the lactic acid in the muscles, all of it, you really feel it. And that in itself leads me to my second point about number two, the rush factor, is that I suspect, although there's not been studies done on this since, I believe, Arthur Jones's time, when he did studies with the Army and with, I don't remember which football team it was, but it may have been Army's football team. But he did study the effects of his training, which was about 8 to 12 exercises back-to-back, rush factor style, taken at least to positive failure on these 20-something-year-olds that played college-age football. And the rush factor was involved. And in the end, they found that their oxygen uptake, their VO2 max, all of this was improved so much just from weight training in that manner. So now we have another level involved here. Your fitness levels will be improved dramatically. I mean, wow. When I got done, it took me a while. The people in my training community, they've seen the completely unedited, behind the scenes, what I look like after every single exercise and the final workout, all of that. I'll put a link down below if you're interested in checking out the training community. And it's intense and it wears you down, okay? That's why it's over with in no time. If you look over some of Arthur Jones's old workout bulletins and even Dr. Ellington Darden's books, he is a spin-off of Arthur Jones, and he uses rush factor training to push clients through workouts. And in the end, they do get greater fitness levels. That's amazing to me. So I suspect someday we're going to see studies on this, comparing it to a form, making it a form of high intensity interval training. There we go. Or comparing it to that, I should say, and seeing how the fitness levels are improved along with muscle mass and reduced body fat. I suspect that's coming. We'll see. Okay, so that's my number 2 takeaway. My number 3 takeaway, Kevin dishes out the intensity. He dishes it out and he takes it himself. That's pretty impressive. Kevin trains 3 days a week, just like he has his clients training. And you see him on Instagram all week long with the videos of his training. He goes after it himself. He gets after it completely. I knew that. He knew that. When I went over there to visit him, I think the only thing that we had not seen was me do that, under his training and sample out that training, which was pretty intense. The intensity levels are so sky high that, again, I told you to hold on to that Tom Platz situation I mentioned earlier. It reminded me a lot of watching Tom Platz work out. Somewhere in there, you go to a special place, man, training like that. And Tom Platz talked about it. I can verify that you do. And it's fun. You really feel like you accomplished something, number one. But number two, I believe that it builds up your ability to accomplish and get things done, your ability to push through when things get really tough. In any situation, that's it right there. So this kind of training, I've just named many positives, maybe only one somewhat negative, the part that it's hard to track because you're not doing the same workouts back to back. You might not even get around to the same exercise for several months. How's that? So the intensity is sky high. Every factor that contributes to intensity, from the volume, the frequency of the workouts, the intensifiers used, the high intensity intensifiers, and then of course, the rush factor mixed in on top of it all. And you have a situation where when I showed up, the girls, they prayed for me, before I started training. So I kind of knew what I was heading into in a way, but you never really know until you go there. But it was a pleasure. So I am answering another question within my number 3, the takeaway being he dishes out that high intensity. I have not seen, a trainer out there in the high intensity world who trains people harder or trains harder himself. So currently, I don't see anybody. And the results that he gets are amazing. The client results are amazing. The benefits to that workout, the workouts that he does are amazing. And I myself, I walked away from there and boy, did I have a new unaccustomed stimulus because for 5 days, boy, did my chest and arms feel it. They were hollering at me, What'd you do to me? Anyway, so it was a pleasure going there. I'll add one more takeaway on top of it all, okay? Because I do recommend that if you're interested in that type of training, that you get a hold of Kevin and Naturally Intense. But the other big takeaway is that Kevin, the girls, they treated me like family from the moment I showed up. And I mean, it should be evident from all the video and even more to come that I have that I'll be laying out. It should be quite evident that, there was a lot of love in the room, just right out the gate. And Kevin and I, of course, had spoken a few times on the phone prior to me being there. But even the girls, they treated me like they've known me for years, and vice versa for that matter. And then, of course, Kevin cooked it up, some Trinidadian food, okay? Amazing, awesome. And we ate, and we relaxed and had a good time. So again, he treats people. In general, he loves people. There it is. All right. So get to my brother Kevin Richardson, Naturally Intense. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, get over there now. His channel is called @Naturally Intense. Use the @ sign. Naturally Intense on YouTube, Kevin Richardson. Subscribe when you go there. All right, I gotta go. So let's do the thing before I go. We gotta do our thing. Our thing is this. If you're new to my channel, look, I have about 700 videos that you're watching here, okay? If you've been kind of hanging around the channel, checking out some of the videos and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. If you're just watching for the first time, you like this video, you like some of the other videos that I've done, you see the thumbnails, please, right off to my left right now, you're gonna see that thumbnail, that disc pop up. It's gonna take you to my channel. It's a subscribe button for my channel. Hit that thing, let YouTube know how much you like my videos. And down below, there's a thumbs up button right there. It's really important that you give that thing a tap and change its color. It lets the YouTube algorithm know how much you like my videos. It lights it up and it lights me up too. I love it. I'll see y'all soon.